All right, everybody, we are back. It's the CU Intersect 2026 conference put on by NCUISO and Pure IT. Shout out to those folks. I am your host, Jonathan Taylor with Bank Social. Speaking of Bank Social, they are the sponsor of the conference, platinum sponsor, and the sponsor of the podcast here. With me, as always, is my illustrious co-host,
Shirley Sin with Fireman's Federal Credit Union, right here from Nolens.
Nolens, y'all. Thank you for making the long drive down, Shirley, and being a part of this. And here we are.
We are.
Here we are.
We are.
It's day 2.
Yes.
It's morning. We survived the night, despite several best efforts to make that not the case.
Yes.
Got a little bit of taste of Bourbon Street last night, which was really good.
Bourbon
Jack, you
on
and I
bourbon.
went out. We saw an amazing band.
That was fantastic.
Amazing band. Yeah, so a little more water than probably normal this morning, but we're here. We're coffeeed up. We're breakfast up. Excited for day 2.
Yes.
Day 2 of the conference.
Well, my big takeaway from yesterday was that three-legged stool: people, processes, and technology.
Got to have all three, otherwise tips over. Well, wonderful. Well, we are kicking off day 2 with a pair of really special and incredible folks in the space. We've got Jose Garcia, President and CEO of Northwest Community Credit Union. Welcome.
Thank you.
And backed by popular demand, Jack Smith, CEO and co-founder of Pure IT. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
So we were just talking a little bit off mic, but for the listeners, talk about your relationship. We'll start with you, Jose. Tell everybody a little bit about Northwest Community Credit Union, just for table stakes, and then we'll dive in.
Sure, yeah. Kind of level set things. My name is, again, Jose Garcia, President and CEO of Northwest Community Credit Union, located just north of Chicago. We're about 67, 68 million in assets. We kind of fluctuate in there. About 2,600 members, serving 3 counties in the Chicago market. And we have one location. We have a little small student-run location at St. Xavier University in the southwest side of Chicago.
Cool.
To try to promote credit union to younger members.
Love that.
And so we have a team of 7, but really one of those team members is not at the credit union today because I'm right here. So we operate with 6 individuals that serves our membership. We have QSOs that support us, like Jack and his team at Pure IT, our Member First Mortgage team that supports our mortgage underwriting, and our CBS team that our QSO that supports our business services. So we are a credit union that offers everything that a bank will offer at a lower rate and friendly service. And we cannot do that with the partnerships that we have because of the size of number of team members we have.
Sure. And would you say that you guys are competing in your market?
The Chicago market is a very competitive market.
I bet.
Okay, we have credit unions, bigger credit unions, smaller credit unions. We have banks, big banks, small banks. We have fintechs. They're all there.
Sure.
And we are competing with every single one. We have to be on top of our game every single day to promote our products and services because I believe it's superior to everybody else.
I love that. First off, Jack, great get. Because remember, I was like, hey, this is what I think you should do, is maybe pull in a partner to talk about the partnership. I love the fact that you had Jose come on. Shirley and I are very, very passionate about highlighting the small but mighty and really shining a light on the fact that you can make it and you can do it, but you've got to be strategic. You've got to be purposeful, right, in the work, and you can't do it alone, and you've got to have good partners. And I love that you turned to the QSO market.
Absolutely.
For the help that you needed. So talk a little bit about what was that thought process. It blows me, I've been in QSOs for 20 years, it blows me away that credit unions still don't know what QSOs are or really understand their value. So talk about the origin story of your decision making to go that route.
Sure. Well, it all started very early in my career at Northwest Community Credit Union, where we had a lot of batch processing. We had to serve a membership in a way where it wasn't efficient, it wasn't quick, and members did not have access. And so we needed to start there to first make sure we have the right core processor. Okay, so we partner with Fiserv to change our operating system, but then we also needed to get all the bells and whistles that everyday people need to bank.
Sure.
And so we needed to make sure we had the right infrastructure, and that's where Pure IT came on board. I don't have an IT, I'm the IT department, and sometimes that could be scary. So I needed to make sure that we had the right systems in place, the right security in place, and we had to change what we were doing. And of course, at the time we decided to make that change, our insurer said, hey, we're going to do an IT audit. Oh no, not now. And so they did. But actually it worked out okay because it really listed out all of the deficiencies that we had.
Sure.
And Jack and his team said, all right, let's get you onboarded and let's start working those deficiencies. We went to multi-authentication for passwords because everybody had the same password for the last who knows how many years.
Sure. And it was taped underneath their desk
And it was
blotter,
probably
right?
written on a sticky on the screen.
Underneath the keyboard.
And so we also needed servers. So our servers were aged, right? And Jack and his team said, well, you don't really need a server. Why don't we put everything on the cloud?
God love you.
And so we went serverless, and we have been, and it's been working beautifully.
Sure.
I don't have to worry about that window of time where you need a patch update and you're exposed, right? So all these things combined and other things has really secured our infrastructure to ensure that our member information is safe and we're able to operate efficiently, okay? And so I think that's where it started. It really started there to kind of make sure the foundation was solid and up to date. All of the desktops, laptops were have the same antivirus versus multiple ones, and so everything just had to be everything had to be cleaned up. And I think that's what we did with Pure IT to now further overlay other technologies to help us run efficiently.
I want to scratch a little bit deeper on one thing you said, because I have heard from many of my credit union friends that are boutique credit unions that are smaller. You know, one of the challenges to doing a big shift like that, like the on-prem to cloud shift, that can be a big, big shift. And one of the hardest things to do is just get the board's head wrapped around a big technology change when they don't understand the technology.
So really quick, one of the ways that we can explain it to a board that simplifies it from a credit union perspective is you're a credit union that people put their money in. You're the cloud for money. It's so they trust you to put their money with you, and what we're saying is you need to trust us to go take care of your stuff over here because it's way more secure and better.
Yeah.
It's like a safe.
Right.
That you don't have at home.
Right.
And that's the reality of it. So when I say that to the board, it clicks. It's like, you're right. I'm like, you are the cloud for money. It's the same concept.
Yeah. And did Jack and his team, did they help you explain the need for
Actually,
this
with
change?
Jose, I mean, I got to give him multiple major credit. He was just on board. Like, he wanted the change. He's one of those CEOs. He had looked at, he is the tech. I mean, he says he's not technical, but he's somewhat technical, right? And when you're in charge of your own IT, you do learn things. And so he wasn't coming to us from this position of not knowing what he needed or wanted. It was more of a, can you guys help me get where I need to go?
Sure. And I guess what I'm wondering is, you run into those special people right at the C level, and they get it, but now you've got to sell it to the board, right? And so talk to me about that. How did you get their head around it? Because I feel like there's a lot of CEOs that are probably listening to this going, yeah, but I can't get my board on board, no pun intended.
Yeah, good point. So I'm very grateful for my board. I have very innovative thinking board members. I have to say that.
Helpful.
They're saying to me, Jose, you let us know what it takes to grow.
Okay.
You let us know what it takes to add products and services to our membership. We know that we haven't done that over the years. We used to be just solely in-house mortgage shop. That's all we did.
Got it.
And we had to make a lot of changes. The way our balance sheet is and ensure that diversification was there, and also to make sure that our products were good, right? We wanted to make sure we just didn't offer you a loan that took you 60 days to get. You needed to get that loan in minutes, if not within 24 hours. Got all that passed. My board was on board. They said, okay. And the measurement of success is member reaction, right? And the products and services that we now deliver, that's your measurement of success. The other piece is our regulators. They're another report. They give you a report card, right? And so we are regulated by the state of Illinois. We're privately insured, ASI, and we run our operation like an entrepreneurship business. We want to be able to make sure that we are going to be around for another 87 years, because that's how long we've been around.
Love that.
And so all of that, my board is on board to ensuring that we look at what's up and coming, what are threats, and there are a lot of threats, and how can we leverage technology to mitigate those threats, but still offer the products and services that we offer today. I'll give you an example. I met another entrepreneur at a National Hispanic Chamber of Commerce conference in 2016, and he had a technology AI technology that lived in cameras. And he explained it to me, and I said, Jose, this doesn't just do security. Don't think of it that way. Think of it of a operational gain. Okay, so our cameras, yes, it monitors security. If someone comes in with a threat, the cameras will identify the threat, report. Okay, you can report it to the management, you can report it to the police, you can report it to whoever you want it to report to. Monitoring service, for example. But also, our members we had clumsy systems. So at the drive up, a member would come in and ring a little doorbell. I'm here. And that was the experience that they were getting. Well, today, the camera identifies that the member is there. We have an IP sign that is right at the drive that they can read. It'll welcome them to the credit union. So the camera will notify the sign, activate. It'll notify the team that there is somebody there, and it's a much better experience. Okay, so we use AI not just for the cameras, for not just security, but also
operational efficiencies
and member experience. Operational efficiency, we know how many people are coming in and out every single day.
Sure. By
the hour. Make sure we have enough staff, those 6, that are there to serve our members. So AI that's one way we use AI. The name of that company is Safety EQ. The other is Avery AI. Okay, so how do we get to our members? We have 6. We're trying to figure out constant contact. That's the main tool. And then you see your unsubscribes. They don't want to hear me, or they don't want to read, right? And so when Avery came out, and I talked to Blesson, who runs Avery, the AI agent will have a conversation with a member. And you're a little skeptical about that, but all of this is something that's new technology. But if I don't have the systems in place,
sure.
The integrations, there was a lot of integration with Safety EQ. You got the cameras, you have the right ports, you have the all that connectivity that needs to be in place. You can't do it just plug and play, right? There is no such, well, it might be down the road, but
sure.
Right now, no. Not if you want all of this functionality. And making sure that it's safe. And that's the main thing. There's not an open port that's accessible to somebody. And you saw that website that can identify Wi-Fi's and Bluetooth and printer servers, et cetera. So, oh my goodness, we got to shut everything down. But that's not the case, because I'm confident with the team in place, not just our staff, but our partners. Jack and his team, very proactive. We meet regularly to discuss our infrastructure, what can we improve, and we continue to try to improve and offer more products and services to our members.
And I think it's important to note that the way that you approach a smaller credit union from a pure IT perspective, and Jose said it perfectly, is he can't eat the whole elephant. He
Sure.
doesn't have the money.
Right.
So we have to do it over time. There's a lot of things that we work on over time because we get we actually understand how a credit union
Sure.
budgets and spends money, and so it makes it much easier when you have a partner that doesn't want to make you go buy everything you have to have right now
Right.
and knows how to solve problems in the interim to get you safety, but also know that there's a long-term strategy that you're executing to continue to implement. And I think
Right.
that's where, and when he was speaking about the AI stuff that he has, I mean, it's phenomenal. Like, we partner with that company now because we actually implemented the AI in his credit union for that company that had the technology. So, and we think all credit unions should look at this because, I mean, it can do so much more. I mean, over time, we're going to take it. He's the guinea pig with it right now from what we're working with it.
Pioneer. We call them pioneers.
But my point being is we're going to take this thing hopefully way further. And we want to see, I'd love to get other credit unions involved in it because I feel like it has so much value.
If I just can add to that. So if you think about it just a little bit further, imagine, if you just put your imagination hat on, if multiple credit unions in your area or across the country had the system, if it had a central depository of photos, so I identify a potential threat, I upload the threat, and if that threat enters anywhere else, it alerts. Not identifies because you don't want to use cameras for identification. In the state of Illinois, you can't do that.
Okay.
Okay, so you're just elevating your security. And if we can get credit unions to believe in the technology and AI, this is it. This is a way. I don't know what the cost of fraud is for credit unions nationally.
No, it's incredible,
It's-
right?
Yeah.
It's astronomical.
It's a huge number.
Yeah, I know working with a lot of small credit unions across the country over the last 30 years, you hear fraud all the time. We can't do that because of fraud. It's going, fraud, fraud, fraud. But I think you have proven a point in the fact that we talk about strategy. I mean, all of the AI, the technology has to drive off of strategy and our strategic plans and so forth. And I think you have just informed us and shown us that even a small credit union under 100 million, 50 million, it doesn't matter the size of the credit union, it's the strategy and the vision. You can serve any member any way you want, whether you're a million, a billion, 100 billion. And it takes these kinds of
It
partnerships.
takes partnerships, but it
Yeah.
also takes the want to that Jose
Yes.
and the vision that he had for his institution, right? Because a lot of these smaller credit unions, you said it beautifully, actually, Shirley, they feel limited.
Yes.
They don't feel like they can go innovate and do these things. He didn't limit himself in that way. Like,
Right.
Jose did not say, I can't go do this. Jose said, how do I go do this?
Exactly.
And that, to me, is a mind shift switch
Yeah.
for a lot of these smaller credit unions. Stop thinking that because you're small, you can't.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
exactly the point.
Yeah, I can't reiterate that enough. Small is sometimes good because you get stuck in big credit union operations because the data committee, the AI committee, and all those things take time.
Yeah.
Well,
Silo.
Right. In a small credit union like mine, that's really me,
Right.
my board, me.
Not
right?
that you don't have debates with yourself, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure
I
that
do.
happens.
I do have those.
From time to time.
Meetings once in a while with myself
Right.
on the way home on my Chicago traffic. That gives me the time to think, right?
Right.
But I don't have a problem giving Jack a call.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with any of our other partners because we want to make sure that we're always thinking ahead.
Right.
And you hear about mergers and credit unions going away. That number is true, right? It's
Yeah.
there. And this industry needs to let smaller credit unions know that you could survive. Okay, you could serve your members. The bigger the organization, the less personable it becomes to the membership.
Yeah.
And I know that, right? Yes, we want to grow too, but we want to grow naturally. We
Right.
want to grow members, promote our products and services, use the technology, leverage AI, and do the best we can. We're going back to the regulators. You have these conversations with them, let them know what you're working on. We're a well-run credit union. We're highly rated, solid, right? And so that's because of the team, our staff, and our partners.
Yeah.
And Bank Social, for example, we're going to look at how we can leverage crypto
know.
and stablecoin.
I wouldn't
and
mind the lead.
No, I'm going to tell you though. This is something that me and Jose and Becky have actually been talking about. I'm
Absolutely.
like, you guys need a smaller credit union so we can take that case study to
Yes,
market.
yes.
Because we need to show the smaller credit unions you can leverage this technology.
Well, in the origin stories, which to me that it's so important. I love a good origin story in the credit union space, and why I fell in love with you guys to start was the origin story of how you first helped Becky as a CEO of what was she, 80 million at that point?
They were 80 million.
80 million,
Yeah.
and she couldn't get the time of day. Right? Not from anybody
Well,
that.
And what's crazy is they're now 180 million.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I mean, that's been 10 years now, but
Exactly.
still, that was a pretty good growth.
That's a phenomenal growth. And so many, I feel, and I know I'm painting with a broad brush here, but I feel like so many of the providers that are out there in the space, they view this space as hunting, not farming. And in a lot of ways, what you were talking about, it's like start out small, start here. We knew they didn't have the budget. We knew we needed to over time. That's farming. That's not hunting, right? And so I feel like that's the mentality we really need to understand. Every one of these multi-billion-dollar credit unions we're talking to now, they were 80 million. At some point, and somebody gave them the help they needed to get to where they are, and yet we're letting so many, but so many of our crops right now are dying when they could also become, these bigger, more impactful in their community financial institutions. We just got to help them.
That's correct.
Yeah.
100%. Nicely said.
I would like to know, when we think about from a small credit union's perspective, I think sometimes the hesitancy also and the barriers is the fact that the teams that are making some of those decisions, if we implement the technology, does that mean I lose my job or does somebody else lose? But we hear that a lot. And so, I would like our listeners to see it from your perspective, to say, how has it actually improved the lives of your team members as well as the members you're serving by following this route of the technology?
Yeah, I hold my team meetings, and as CEO, I let them know what lies ahead. I let them know what the challenges are, what we are dealing with, and the technology that exists to help us get through those challenges. And if you get their buy-in at these meetings,
There it is.
that when we implement, no one's concerned whatsoever that they're going to lose a job. You may redeploy responsibilities and activities and things like that, but you're not. It's hard to hire people.
Sure.
We want to keep our people. There's no strategy to. We can't go less than 6, 7. Right, we're there already, and so the areas that we want to get better at is getting our message out, letting non-members know that credit unions are a viable option for retail and business services. No question. And we do that as best that we can, but we can definitely do it better.
Well, I will say this, Jose. You were born for that mic. So that's a great way for you to get your message out, and we say this all the time. We're all suffering from a crisis of awareness. And that's why Shirley and I do this stuff. We need to shine a light on the important stories that people need to hear. And, younger members, they love podcasts. They love, all that's TikTok, all that stuff online. And what's great about a lot of this stuff is it doesn't cost a lot. It just takes a little bit of time and effort and focus. But you're a natural on that mic, man. You got to keep doing it.
You do.
You got to keep doing it.
My message, I would say to smaller credit unions, it could be done.
Yeah.
It could be done with the right relationship, the right partners.
If one of the listeners here has been inspired as we have, and they want to learn more, or they want to just look at your model and maybe as inspiration, where would they go? Go to your website, or where would they go?
Well, first of all, there's maybe several places. My LinkedIn
Okay.
profile, you can easily find me.
Got it.
You can Google me and find me.
Okay.
But most importantly, you can reach me at jose@nwccu.com. That's my email address. Our website, obviously, nwccu.com.
Got it. I love it. This is a good one.
It is. I love small credit unions.
Any other final thoughts, Shirley? I mean, you are here representing your small credit union.
I am.
Yeah.
And I think, we all are so embedded in our communities and literally keeping our heads down in the trenches that sometimes we forget to look up.
Yeah.
And I think this is where the partnerships come into play. And I love what you said, Jack, in the fact that this is not an all or none type of partnership. This is growing with you. and the customization. And I think as small credit unions, we need to remember that you're here to help us, regardless
I
of
think the key is when you're a CUSO too, is
Yeah.
understanding that my board is all credit
credit
unions.
unions.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct.
So I only exist as an organization
Right.
to help the movement and the mission, right?
Yeah.
Like that is why we are here. Like it's not, I can't state that enough. Like if you saw my people in our, and so I'm going to brag on Pure IT for a second, just the people, not me, because it's not me. It's the 35 other people that are in my company. They are dedicated to credit unions, and they do not want them to die. And I promise you that when we talk about it as an organization, what our mission is,
Sure.
because that's our mission.
Right.
Our mission is to serve credit unions. Like
Yeah.
we are like people serving people, right?
100%.
That's the same thing. And so I can't get that across enough to smaller credit unions. We are not coming in to try to take all your money.
Right.
We're actually coming in to try to help you make more of it.
Well,
and that's what we're, and that's, I mean, when I talked about Lone Star, I think it's important. I mean, Becky had a growth strategy. So we didn't create her strategy.
Sure.
We just created the tech to meet the strategy.
Sure.
And that is how she grew her credit union.
Yeah.
So it's not that we're the smartest people in the world. It's that these CEOs actually have the answers, but they don't have the execution. And they need execution.
Well,
and so
they need the execution so we as team members can go out and continue to do the things that we excel at, whether
Yeah.
it's the coaching, the counseling, the one-on-ones, helping our nonprofits, our community involvement. We can't do all that if we're sitting behind a desk trying to fix something in Microsoft Excel or Windows or something that we're not familiar with. So I applaud the QSO movement, but especially ones like Pure IT that really have that helping people mission behind your company as well.
thank you.
Amen. Amen. Well, folks, thank you so much for being. Thank you, Jack. First off, for your team, they are incredible, and the amount of work that they've put into to partner with NCU ISO on this event, I think is great. That's a great story in and of itself of how you guys have clipped in and connected, and what an incredible partnership I think you guys have put together there. I didn't even know about these guys until you guys, and I was like, "What? This is a thing?" Like,
Well,
I
and to
freaking
Jose's
love
point, and
this.
I want to say something. Jose said this, and I didn't jump on it then, but now that you're mentioning the NCI ISAL, our goal with his AI technology that he's currently using is to get it into the ISAL as a shared. Because if you get credit unions sharing all this stuff, we can stop fraud a lot faster and be proactive with it. And that is something me and him talk about a lot.
I love it. Thank you guys so much. Jose Garcia, President and CEO, Northwest Community Credit Union. Jack Smith, Pure IT. Thank you, folks, for all that you're doing.
you.
Love the partnership. I'm excited to hear and to follow this and see where this AI journey goes and everything you're doing at your credit union. I love it. So
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Shirley, for
Thank
being
you.
on.
And thank you for representing the small credit unions
Yes.
and showing that it can be done.
Amen.
you very much.
Amen. And thank you to Bank Social for the sponsorship of the podcast, the CU Intersect 2026 podcast. I am your host, Jonathan Taylor, JT, and we are out of here.